Communication, as I said earlier, is probably the biggest part of our message today. It's so important to continue to communicate. There's a lot of retailers or just people in general right now who are kind of stuck and frozen and in panic mode and watching the news and getting consumed. And we just strongly recommend that you do not be one of those people or businesses. You need to move fast and pivot and continue to speak to your customers. And so we're going to talk through some of that. The top 3 reasons to continue to keep communication flowing. You want to ensure your customers feel cared for. You want to be really empathetic to them. Definitely, I would recommend changing your messaging. Don't just be hitting them with your standard marketing. I also recommend pausing any automated workflows or email campaigns, drip campaigns that you may have typically running. I would pause those and continue hitting them with other campaigns and messages, but have them be more timely. You want to stay top of mind. Again, whether they're buying from you now or not, the impression that you leave on them now will definitely last long term. And use this time to expand your reach, build your community, and social media is a great way to do that. Communicating with your customers through local outreach. I'm sure you've seen so many different businesses doing that right now, and we really do recommend that you as well do it. Chipping in, showing your local community, focusing on that local community. What we've seen a few clients do is one is a sportsman's training facility, and so they have really large facilities with really large parking lots. And so one of our clients is allowing local restaurants to use his parking lot to do food to go and food pickup orders, to expand beyond just their own small area, but to expand throughout the community. We have a sewing retailer who sells, yarn and sewing materials, sewing machines and such. And so what they've done is they've quickly pivoted their team, and they're creating face masks and the attachable bands so that it doesn't hurt, the ears. And they're offering them to local hospitals. We have a sports retailer who has not only a store, but also a sports podcast. And so they have a bunch of advertisers that typically advertise on their podcast. These advertisers right now didn't want to advertise. They wanted to put the brakes on. So he's actually giving them free advertising so that they can continue to do so. However you decide to help your local community, we recommend you do it. And then of course, talk about it. So get word out on social media, and get the word throughout the community how you're helping. Another client spotlight here. So this is a gift shop in South Carolina called Party Heroes. I do recommend on Facebook that you check them out because they are really doing everything right. They're really using social media in the right way to get word out to their local community. So what they have done is the owner came up with this great idea to create these rainbow of hope balloon arches. So you can see the picture there. It's multicolor, it's bright, cheerful. And so she's creating these balloon arches, and her team is going around and putting them on all the local businesses, Habitat for Humanity and food banks, and then just regular retail shops as well. Well, this is getting a lot of buzz in her community. She's gaining publicity through Facebook. Even a local news channel came and interviewed her and did a whole thing in front of the store. So as a result, she's getting a ton of PR from this. And she's also bringing a lot of smiles to her local community and helping out. And as a result, she has seen a surge in her balloon orders and her gift baskets. People are calling, placing orders, and sending them to, to friends, family, hospitals, and such. So just a great example of how you can use community outreach to get your brand out there. So email marketing, Zeke, I'm going to let you take this because you can speak to this probably even better than I.
I can certainly try. So email marketing, as you said a lot of this already, Michelle, it's one of the main ways to communicate to customers. But we got to go back to where this has to be changed. So you can't continue your existing email marketing campaigns. You got to tweak them, change them, and focus on things that matter the most these days. But another thing you can do is you can use email marketing to build your brand. So this is the time to build brand. And as Michelle was saying, you keep them informed of what's going on in your world. So So you are a, an online retailer or a brick and mortar, an online combo. You want to make sure they know how you're coping with this and, keep them updated on what's going on. It could be an email that only talks about what you did in your warehouse, because warehouse is still functional, what you did in your warehouse to keep your employees safe. What are you experiencing? What are you implementing, for social distancing? It could be things like that along those lines, but the point is to stay on customers' mind. So when this thing hopefully blows over soon, then they will remember that, this uh, company was in contact with them, they did all the right things, and they are responsible company. So you want to have that kind of messaging there. But at the same time, I'm not saying that don't sell any products, obviously. Customers still need products, they still want to buy, and you still want to sell. So you got to find a happy medium in there where there are some product offerings and then also, things that are relevant to the current news cycle, basically.
Yeah, and
So that's where I would go with that.
I was just
Yeah.
going to add there, you may want to adjust what you're sending them in terms of the products too, because as people are home now, depending of course on what you sell, but as people are home now, what they're purchasing may be different. They may be purchasing more comfy clothes or pajamas, or things for their home, however that may change. But just take a look at what you're pushing out as far as products, because that may change as well, on the current situation.
Yeah, so we have a client and it's a general store. They sell essentially everything. And when the COVID-19 started and things started to get really bad, what they saw is a direct change in what they sell on a daily basis. Their school supply department, shot up right away, and more of a luxury type of merchandise, they started to go down. So, and that speaks to exactly what the need is these days. All our kids are home. They're all, it's all homeschooling these days. And we all have become teachers to a certain extent. So we need some supplies. So yes, absolutely. Whatever is relevant in your industry, in your business that speaks to this, that's what I would double down on that.
And then for social media, and I can't stress this enough, social media, in my opinion, is right now the most important way to reach your customers, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or however you reach them. But social media is in overdrive right now. There's so many people home. They're scrolling their phones. They're scrolling on their computers. They're really hungry for engagement and for messaging, and they want to communicate with someone other than their spouse and their children. And so, speaking to them through social media is definitely the best approach. So, I mean, you can see our 6 best ways here. But what's most important is you're putting on your social media how your company has changed, if your doors are still open, you want to put your hours on there, make it really clear. You want to let them know what time, if you are still open, that you're open. If you're changing the way you're delivering your products, maybe you're offering delivery. Typically we think delivery is for restaurants and grocery. Well, not anymore. Local businesses are definitely offering delivery and actually delivering their products to their customers. Maybe you're doing curbside pickup. However you're implementing these practices in your store, do a live stream or make a video, because videos and live stream will get you a ton more engagement on social media than just a post or even just a photo. So you can do a quick live stream. You can walk them through your store. If you're open, you can show them, safety precautions you're taking, how you're cleaning your store, things like that. Or if your store's closed and you're just doing curbside pickup, take a video, show them exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it, so that you can really get word out there. Sorry about that. And don't just post, encourage engagement. So, ask your customers questions, start conversations, get everybody talking and engaged on your page. And then, of course, you can take this even further and you can do paid advertising on social media. So whether it's through Facebook and you're just doing something like boosting a post, I mean, it can be as cheap as $10 or $20 a day. So there's a lot of different avenues through social media, both through free posts and also paid. And that's really where you should be focusing and getting word out.
Right, and and build your following. That's the best time to do that as well, because like you said, Michelle, more people are on their phones and iPads because they have more time on their hands. So this is the time to increase your following. So then later on, we can capitalize on that.
Absolutely. So we have a really great client spotlight on this, right? You're going to take this one because this is a long-term client of yours.
Yeah, this is a client who really, made some good moves early on, 2 or 3 years ago in launching a site. And, the goal was really to combat the tide, if you will, in retail, where there was a decline in brick and mortar and there was a further ascendancy in e-commerce. And that's really, come to fruition in this most challenging time. And as Zeke said, and I've heard from so many clients, everyone is betting that these new habits we're gaining are going to become the new normal. So you might change your messaging as things evolve, but I think there's something to be said for being ready to do commerce however the customer wants to do commerce. If they want to do it at the curbside, if they want delivery, if they want to come to your store, if they want to shop on your website, those are things that you need to be ready, willing, and able to do. And that's what this customer did. What they've done most recently in this thing is they paused their regular nurturing email campaigns. They've really aggressively shifted to add more social media activity than they did before. This is a retailer who over the course of the holiday season probably sent out 4 million emails. They've kind of put the brakes on that. They've really amplified their social media, and the results are good. I spoke to the owner there. They're seeing increased traffic. It's surprisingly the same assortment that they were selling before in approximately the same proportions, but people are still reaching out to them. The other things that are relevant, gift card purchases, so your support for your local business is, of course, super important. But this is a good example of, even if right now you're not in the position that you want to be, it's time to get there.
Yep. And for those who can't see it, it's Omega Sports, and you should definitely check out their Facebook profile as well. They even took down their logo temporarily and have that hashtag Stay Strong Local. So I love that.